Frank Dana's not insane. Bloom Daddy workplace culture expert. Frank, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. Let's keep talking about the weed stuff. I'm kidding. We don't have to keep talking about it.
I want to talk about a raise because I need a raise. Carmen won't go to bat
Let's
for
go.
me with
I
the
got
boss. I need a raise.
I want to raise too, Franco.
So what do we do, Frank?
I got plenty of tips for you. If you need a raise, we're going to get you a raise, okay? We're going to see this actually come to fruition. But here's the crazy part. Around 80% of the workforce in the U.S. believe that they're underpaid. 80%.
Wow.
Which means everybody wants a raise, but we have to do our own due diligence to get that money. Our employers aren't waiting around going, can I pay you more and more and more? So we have to be proactive with how we get to this raise.
So how do we do that?
So there are 3 ways that you can prepare, like 3 do's, and I even have 3 don'ts if we have time for it. But the 3 do's that I have are very simple. The first is be specific. Do your research. Go look at what your market rate is. And the only way to do that is just type it on the internet. Go to Indeed and type in your title, whatever your title is. If you're a manager, marketer, if you're a director, prepare yourself, though. And here's the deal. That money that you're going to see for the amount that most people are making is going to be way higher than what you're making. So once you stop shaking from all the anger, consider around a 10% raise or a little bit more if the market amount is crazy high and you realize you're really low. But the best thing I can do for this first tip is just go into the conversation with research and a specific amount. A specific amount is a good idea. The second is get your brag sheet ready. Industry experts recommend you taking time to write down a simple 1-page summary of what you've done in the past year. Get those accomplishments down. Have you improved efficiency, innovation, special projects? This is your proof. Don't walk in just going, I'm a human, give me more money. We have to have the proof in the pudding. And the third is sometimes your employers may not have cash that they can give to you in the moment. If they're not able to do that, maybe it's time for stock options, gym memberships, cell phone reimbursements, even additional paid time off. Asking your boss for flexibility if they don't have the money in hand is a great way to get more time back or even more money back in your pocket.
Yeah, but let me ask you this, though, Frank. When you take a look at the atmosphere out there today and a lot of companies cutting back, is this even the right time to ask for a raise?
I think there's no wrong time to ask for a raise. And most of the time, people are afraid to ask for a raise because their boss is going to tell them no. But in the reality, we need to be more comfortable asking for raises, even if the market conditions don't feel like they're up to snuff. Because the worst they can tell you is no. And if you know you can't make any more money right now inside of your organization, it may mean that you can step away and go do something else. But you at least got to give it a shot. Now, the best way to know about it is do some research on how your company is doing. If your company is in the trash in terms of profitability and revenue, it's probably not the best time to ask. But if your company is doing well financially and that's being communicated to you, there's no risk.
Talking to Frank Dana, Bloom Daddy workplace culture expert. Frank, what about a lot of bosses give the response, hey, look, I'd love to, but it's not up to me. I'll see what I can do. And then they just kick it on down the curb. What do you do in that circumstance?
In my opinion, bosses should be there to help you become the best version of yourself at work. So if your boss isn't really giving you an opportunity to grow, it may not be the right environment for you. Because in my opinion, as a boss, I want what's best for my employee. My recommendation is checking with them often. If you ask for a raise, you give them the research like we talked about, you got your brag sheet that you've given to them. Ask for constant updates. And if they keep kicking the can down the road, it's a clear indicator that they don't have your best interest at heart.
Frank, what about a guy like Carmen, who's the classic underachiever and cancer in the workplace?
He's not lying,
How does he
Frank.
get a raise?
Yeah.
Carmen, it's time to ask for some recreational marijuana. I'm kidding.
I don't blaze. No, that's not an option.
I'm just messing with you.
So
oh,
Frank,
man, Carmen, I'm so sorry. Everybody's picking on you, man.
Every day at work, I'm like a fire hydrant at a dog show, Frank.
No,
I'm
believe
totally
me, I get it.
disrespected.
I get it back. I get it right back from him. Trust me. Frank, why do you think so many people believe they deserve a raise? Because let's be honest, out of that figure you gave, which I think was over 80%, you know a lot of them, a lot of them are doing the bare minimum. So what makes them think they're so valuable or that it's owed to them?
You know that 80-20 rule, like 20% of the people are doing 80% of the work?
Yeah.
That's real. That's a real thing. And so most of the time, you are not going to have 80% of your organization eligible for a significant raise. The reason why we think that we deserve more is because we look around us and we see people getting incredible salary increases, jump into other companies that are giving them perks, and we believe that we deserve a raise because what we see around us is that everybody's getting paid more, right? But the reality is, if you're not living up to those accomplishments and actually bringing more value to an organization, your organization doesn't necessarily have to give you a significant raise. And most of the time, if you're not an overperformer and not a high achiever, you're most likely going to get somewhere in a 2 to 3% raise per year, which is under inflation, right? So that's something you have to consider as well.
All right. Well, Frank, thanks for coming on here. I don't know if it's going to work for us because we are two classic underachievers, and our bosses just kind of ignore us all the time. So we'll give it a shot, but I'm not so sure anything's going to come to fruition.
Frank, before we let you go,
No.
can you once again explain to Bloom Daddy that 20%, 80% theory?
See what I mean? Don't feel sorry for
There
him.
we go.
He brings it right back.
You love to see it. You love to see it.
All right, Frank. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, guys.